Good evening, everyone, and happy Tuesday, and welcome to season 3 of the Dog Tag Diva. I'm your host, Dog Tag Diva, and I am super excited to welcome aboard my co-host, Lauren Dipietro. We're going to have to get you like a radio name or something.
I
Welcome.
know. Nothing appropriate's coming to mind at this point, so we'll have to put a pin in it and think about it when I'm not sleep deprived.
So how are you?
Sleep deprived. No, I'm good. I'm getting over a cold that my daughter, who's a human petri dish because she's in public schools, so she brought him a cold.
Sharing
My,
is caring.
yeah, love it. My 3-month-old was up at 4:30, and then at 5:30, and then at 6:30. And my husband, it was his first day back from paternity leave, so everyone survived. The dogs weren't punted across the backyard for annoying me, and the
Always
kids
good.
are great. So
Well,
and
we
I
talked about
on all day. Like I'm put together, bra, showered, shaved. I mean, I did it.
you did it. Good job, Mama.
Thanks.
Remember, we talked about this earlier today, right? Like, just keep them alive. That's all you had to do.
I cannot even put two thoughts together. You're like, keep them alive. It's all you need to do. And I'm like, Roger that. Yeah.
So how are you feeling joining me as a co-host?
I'm excited. I'm also like one more thing on my plate, but it's like a fun thing on my plate. I think the only reason I'm like nervous is because I have my husband who's got a bum knee, needs knee surgery, taking care of 2 crazy ass kids and 2 crazy ass dogs. I was like, put everybody in a cage. Nobody will know. I'm just kidding. I would never put my children in a cage.
Just kidding.
JK.
Yeah,
Dogs.
just kidding. Yeah. But it's hard being a mom. But at the same time, and we've had lots of discussions about taking care of yourself, self-care, and doing
Yes.
for you. And I think it's really important for you to do something that you enjoy, or that to get your voice out there. And
Yeah.
you will text me from time to time, like, "Hey, this would be a great podcast episode. We need to talk about this." And I think that's great. Like, you need to have a place. And I think it's great for your kids to see mom can manage, taking care of the kids, taking care of the house. We're working, but I'm doing something fun for me, and I'm
Yes.
putting education, motivation out,
Right.
and hopefully it comes back to all of us. So
Because this is like you said, this is the fun thing. And this is also kind of like self-care because I get to kick it with you. We get to talk shit, we get to do whatever. And it's not like your typical mommy's going to the spa to get her nails done and her hair cut. Like, I haven't had my hair cut. My kid had her haircut. I need a haircut, but like I haven't done that self-care. I'm doing more this right now. You know what I mean? Because it's like mentally, that's what I need. I need to talk to somebody that's not 3 months old.
well, right. And it's hard being a mom, and it's hard balancing work and being a mom. And, my son is an adult now, but I remember those days of working full time and trying to take care of him and take care of the house. And then I had a husband, and then didn't have a husband. And, I did the single mom thing for a really long time. So, but it is really important. And we never talked about this self-care stuff up until like a couple years ago. I'm like, well,
Yeah.
that's nice that you tell me now.
Yeah, no, I mean, I know when you started nursing, it wasn't. And when I started nursing, it was kind of just like they still ate their young, you sucked it up, you did it, either come to work or don't, but you're fired if you don't. What's mental health? The mental health is the patients you're taking care of. You don't matter. So, yeah, no, there was no self-care in any aspect of our lives. Motherhood, work.
I think it's really important for you to show, your kids that you have lots of outside interests. And, you and I have talked about books we want to read and authors
Yeah.
we want to talk to and have on the show. And, we talked about this. We want to incorporate Sophia into the show from time to time. We want her little 6-year-old self to come on here and just be like, "Hey, I'm 6 and this is what I did at school today. And this is kind of what's on my little 6-year-old mind." And, like what a cool experience for her to just come on. And even if she comes on and be like, "Hey, hi, bye," and then she's out, like,
I don't know. She's spicy, girl. You sure you want all that?
well, look, who are you?
Apple tree.
Spicy is kind of part of the show, but like, what a unique experience for her to be able to come on and just kind of, even if she just kind of sits and listens for a little bit, depending on what the topic that we're discussing.
Right.
I think it's important to kind of expose kids to getting outside of your comfort zone.
Yeah.
Like I just kind of grew up outgoing and was able to step outside my comfort zone and never had a problem with it. But for somebody like who maybe is a little bit shy, give them an opportunity to do
Yeah.
something and different. And, I put myself in a box when I graduated college. I was like, I'm a nurse and this is what I do. And I spent years and years, defining like I am a nurse and this is what I do. And if I'm, lost my job, I wouldn't be able to do anything else. And then the pandemic really kind of forced me to stop and think, what else would I do if I couldn't be a nurse? Because I was really feel that like, screw this, I'm out. So that's when I went to broadcasting school and learned about TV and radio and podcasting. And that's kind of, and then I had my TV show, which I
Yeah.
love. And then
Yeah.
when I came here to Florida, there was not that option, but I found military broadcast radio and I'm like, okay, great. Well, now I can just bring the show to podcast form, which is kind of like, part of it. That's the thing now is podcast.
I was gonna say it's kind of what
So
what's going on.
this Gen Xer is getting used to this newfangled technology.
Girl, I'm in between. What is it? Like, I mean, I'm born in the mid 80s, so I'm falling in between like what, Gen X and
I think
millennial?
you're considered an elder millennial, which I think is a kind of offensive, but
If I get called elder on something one more damn time, you can call me ma'am, but I was a geriatric pregnant woman. I'm an elder millennial. Like, anyway.
so what are some of your wishes for the podcast? Because we talked about this a little bit. The mission and vision of the podcast is to educate, motivate, and inspire.
Yeah.
So what are some of your things that you're looking forward to bringing to the show as the co-host?
So, I mean, you know me very well, but everyone that doesn't know me, I love empowering women. There has, I think now is kind of the time where it's starting to be seen that like women uplift each other, but it's still not happening as frequently or properly as it should. So I'm all about lifting other women's crowns. I'm not going to tear you down. So men get enough pats on their back, and that's not me being an asshole. That's me being real. Like there are boys clubs everywhere, but girls clubs are associated with being catty and bitches or the mean girls, right? So I am like, no, there doesn't, I hate that. So I'm all about empowering women, making sure they feel good, knowing resources, because truth be told, as a mom, as a woman, as a nurse, as a military veteran, as everything in between, you often don't know where to go for anything. And you don't know what you don't know until you need to know, and then you're fucked. To put it mildly. And so I love being able to empower and help and provide resources for whatever I personally can. I'm not an expert at everything, but what I am an expert at, I can help with, and what I'm not an expert at, I can find out from people that are, right? So I want to bring topics that help empower other women, whether they're veterans or nurses or the girl that works at the Wawa cash register, or I don't care. Other women, especially like, I mean, this sounds terrible, but like women that are like 29 and over. Because like it's hard for me to relate to anybody under like 29 at this point. I'm like, I don't, Godspeed. I don't know what half your language means anyway. So, I don't know any of these new verbs. I'm like Googling. I'm like, what does this mean? And I look 90.
Yeah.
Someone said ratchet one time, and I'm like, what the fuck is that? Like a ratchet, like a wrench and a ratchet, like at the shop. Like, what are we doing? So anyway,
yeah.
But
the time my son said lit, I was like, who was drunk? He's like, nobody was drunk.
right.
I'm like, well, you said lit. And he's like, no, mom, that's not what that means. I'm like, well, what the hell does it
But
mean?
it does. And just all the new words I can't keep up with.
Mom, that's fire.
Maybe we should write a dictionary. We'll start like interviewing these little hoodlums running around with these fake words.
I was like, is fire good? He's like, yeah, mom, that's good. I'm like, okay.
I worked with a tech when I was in New York who I was like, I need you to give me like the 411 on everything you just said in that conversation. She's like, well, what's a 411? I'm like, oh my God, I think I just had a small aneurysm. Like, just tell me what the F it all means. But yeah, so I wanted like bring empowerment, bring knowledge. And honestly, I kind of want to talk about topics that a lot of people are either scared to talk about and topics that just aren't discussed enough. Like I think you and I were chatting and we were talking about like the PTSD rate. Like people don't know about half of that shit. I remember a few years back when I worked in the ICU, there was like it wasn't like memos put out, but it was stats of the month. And these statistics were plastered in the break room because that's what you want to see when you're fucking eating your sandwich. But it was like burnout ratio for nurses and how many times nurses are hurt per month, not just at our hospital, but like countrywide. And then, what we're doing about it, which was nothing. And then this is pre-pandemic, but we people need voices, and I want us to be able to provide more voices, more resources, more empowerment, more inspiration to these people that are just, man, in the muck of everyday fucking life.
Yeah, and I think, and one of the other things that we talk about is being objective, and, a lot of people listen to respond instead of listening to understand. So it's okay to disagree as long as we're being respectful of each other and respecting each other's, opinions without coming at each other and
Yeah.
arguing. And it's like, I just want to understand where you're coming from. Truly. Like, it's not about right and wrong.
Right.
Everybody just wants to be heard. And I think more people would need to, kind of hear that. Like, you need to listen to understand, not listen to react or respond. Can you tell I've been in therapy for years?
Can you tell I did psych nursing for a little bit? No, but no, you're right. I mean, so, I haven't really like introduced or said anything about my personal life, but I have much younger siblings, and they're 24 and 20. Yeah, because one was born in 2000, one was born in 2004. So yeah, okay. And they'll be 21 and 25 this year. But one of them in particular, I'm always asking, like, what does this, because like there's apparently 19 genders and a bunch of other things. And I'm like, I'm a nurse. I can only catheterize 2 different genders. So I need you to tell me and explain to me, like, I'm stupid. So tell me what X, Y, Z, A, B, C, what all that are. But instead of educating me, it was jumping down my throat for just not knowing. I'm like, do you know the rabbit hole of uneducation I would go down if I Googled this? I would be so misinformed and biased at that point, because I need a real, you know what I mean? So I hate when people do that, what you said, like they just jump down your throat. They're listening to react instead of listening to actually respond to you and talk to you. Remember debate club back in the day? We had debate club in high school. Where's that? Like, let's have a real adult conversation.
It's gone with the Bartles and James and the Boone's Farms.
And the Aunt Jemimas. Yes. I don't know. But yeah, girl, and we need to talk. I really want us to talk about topics that like matter to us, because if they matter to us, they matter to other people. And like I said, topics people might be scared to talk about, and I'm not shit.
Yeah, I think, and giving people a place they can feel comfortable talking about hard things, and they know that they're going to be respected and, and empowered, because you never know what somebody else is going through. And, I doing this kickboxing. I started this kickboxing at this club down here, and I went to class last night. And there was a woman there. It was her very first class, and she was really unsure of things. And I'm like, it's all right. Don't worry about it. You'll get it. And after like just the warm up, she's like, oh my God, I'm exhausted. I'm like, it's okay. You took the first step. You came in here.
Yeah.
And then I think by the end of the class, she's like, what nights are you here? I need to be here every night that you're here.
Love that.
I'm like, oh, bless your little heart. That is so nice. But that's what we're about. It's just empowering people and making them feel better about themselves. So when we come back, from our break, we're going to start getting into some topics. So everybody hang on to your hats, and we'll be back after this break.
Too big, wanting to grow up way too quick, searching for spotlights since I was 6. Hello, my name is Dream Too Big. Hello, my name is way too loud. My voice voice can cut right through the crowd. God make fun of for it, but who's laughing now? Hello, my name is way too loud. I know I've had my moments and I've had heartaches, but God is making miracles out of my mistakes. You can say I won't make it, and I can tell you that I don't really care. 'Cause hello, my name is going somewhere. Go far. Lost all my words in a mason jar. Locked eyes with a stranger at the end of the bar. Hello, my name is You'll Go Far. Well, hello, my name is One More Try. I put too much stock in bad advice, 'cause anything worth leaving is worth loving twice. Hello, my name is One More Try. I know I've had my moments and I've had heartaches, but God is making miracles out of my mistakes. You can say I won't make it, and I can tell you that I don't really care. 'Cause hello, my name is going somewhere. Yeah. Hello, my name is getting knocked down. You're never gonna leave the ground. You can tell us all about it when you come back around. Hello, my name is getting knocked down. Hello, my name is stand back up. Keep moving even when it gets rough. I've given so much, but I ain't giving up. Hello, my name is stand back up. I know I've had my moments and I've had heartaches, but God is making miracles out of my mistakes. You can say I won't make it, and I can tell you that I don't really care. 'Cause hello, my name is going somewhere. Going somewhere. Yeah, yeah, Oh, it's going
Military Broadcast Radio, the station that's giving veterans a voice.
Find us on the web at mbradio.net.
Opinions expressed in this program are those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of any entities they represent.
And we are back. And before the break, my new co-host and I were just kind of talking about life and things that happen in the course of a day, a week, a month, and our hopes and expectations for the podcast. So what topic do you want to start off with? You told me to remind you of science. What were you
Oh my
thinking?
God. Okay. Science is sciencing right now, and I'm not for it. Listen, listen, Linda. So I'm feeding
not
my
listening.
son. Yeah, listen. So I'm feeding my son this afternoon, whatever. It all blurs together. Excuse me. And I get this notification on the news, like it's ABC News. And it's like the dire wolf has now, that was extinct for 10,000 plus years, is back, right? And I'm thinking in my head, like, what's the purpose of that? Number one. Number two, I'm like, yeah, it's all cute as a little pup that you're given a little bottle to, because I actually watched the news report on it after I saw the ad come up, and but that thing will eat your face. It's a wild animal, and it's like, oh well, we alternated the DNA. In what land of this sounds good? And then they're continuing to go on and on, and at the end, it's like by 2028, we're gonna have the woolly mammoth. What? Why? Kristen, why is this what is happening? This is where we're putting resources. Apparently, Tiger Woods, Paris Hilton, somebody else, I don't really give a shit about these people. They're invested in this company in Texas that's doing this. And I'm like, we got cancer we can cure. Can we do that instead? Can we put our eggs in a basket that matters instead of putting animals back on the earth that are extinct for a reason and will probably eat us? So
Yeah,
arm yourself.
bringing things back that are extinct, I'm not opposed to, but like you said, let's make it make sense.
Right.
Okay?
Why would the woolly mammoth?
Not so sure about that.
Right. I mean, like they were in the ice age. It's hot. It's a little hot in this country, in this globe right now. Probably not. And they're in like Austin, Texas, because that makes sense. Let's bring the woolly mammoth to freaking Texas.
Yeah, that's smart. Love it.
I can't with science today. So that I saw that and I was like, where's my phone? Where's Kristen? Because this is not. I want to know why. Like, I'm curious on people's input. Like you said, there is definite pros to bringing back certain extinct animals, right? Like, but these two?
Like the wolf I get, because there's certain areas that are getting overrun by invasive species, maybe that the wolf could help take care of. And I understand that. Okay, that makes sense to me if that's why we brought it back. But like I'm a nurse, so we're critical thinkers, right? So I have questions. Why did we bring it back? Like why this particular wolf? What's the plan? What's the goal? Not a fan of the woolly mammoth. Don't really see why we need that. But, if there's something that's going to serve some purpose to help us, with the environment, like then, okay,
Sure.
I get it. But I did see that today too. And I was like, oh, they're cute.
Oh, they're so cute when they're puppies.
I didn't read, like I was busy at work today and I didn't actually stop to delve deeper into it. And I was just like, oh, cool. We brought back a wolf. I didn't realize that they were thinking of bringing back other things.
And then they took from the gray wolf. So they took 99. So apparently the gray wolf is 99.5%. So there's only a 0.5% difference between the dire and the gray. And they took all that DNA and only alternated and injected whatever else. I don't do that shit. 0.5% to make it the dire wolf. And I'm like, we're really playing God. Like that shit is crazy. I don't know. I can't.
Well,
I better not see a woolly mammoth walking around fucking Philly is all I know.
Because some fan's going to be trying to ride that thing.
They're going to ride it, talking about go Phils. Like
you see Delco?
I'm like, you're drunk, go home. Like I can't.
Yeah, I didn't really read too much more into it. But yeah, I'm just going to check that box of like, I'm pretty sure I'm going to die petting something I shouldn't. Like, we'll just add that to the list of things I'm going to try to pet that will eat me.
Your face will be gone. No worries on like cremation or empty casket. But it was cute. I went out with happiness.
Yeah, my husband calls me Darla. He says I'm like Darla from Nemo.
I was thinking like Little Rascals. I'm like, I can see that. You're spicy.
Yeah. No, like Darla from Nemo, who like fishy.
Oh my, yes. With the bracelet, but you don't have bracelet. But yes, I know you're talking about now. Okay. And she kills it.
Yeah, poor thing. Poor. Yeah. So we're going to talk about things that are, current events. We plan on having some authors on of books, military authors. We want to support our military veterans. So if you're a veteran and you are supporting an organization, please feel free to message me, Dog Tag Diva at mbradio.us. If you've got a show idea, content, guest, please feel free to email me because we are 100% open to suggestion. Again, the mission and the vision of the Dog Tag Diva podcast is to educate, motivate, and inspire. So we, fun at times, 100%, fluff sometimes, yes. But we also want to put good content out there and not junk and not drama. And we want people to feel heard and supported. And to that end, speaking of things that irritate me, trending, I don't know if this is trending or not. I don't know how this started, why this started, but people, stop shopping on speakerphone. I don't want to hear your conversation. I don't want to see you FaceTime and your baby daddy having an argument. Like, I have seen this so much, and I'm not understanding why people think it's okay to talk on speakerphone while you're shopping in Publix, in Marshalls, like out. Like, I'm just not understanding it, and I find it just exasperating and exhausting. Please, people, get yourself some earbuds, AirPods, headphones, something. You want to talk and shop, I get it. Multitask, if you can do it, knock yourselves out. But the whole world does not need to hear. Like, I got people on like FaceTime, like in the store, like, look what I'm looking at. Like,
yes,
please.
What
like,
kills me is, like, God forbid you look at them like, you really gonna talk, like, but all that, like, they're making their conversation public, but God forbid the public respond, even with like a look. Like, I can't. You heard my little vent I did on Instagram with the worker at Wegmans that put my stuff in the car, right?
Yeah, not understanding this whole thing that's going on.
No.
So to that end, I will just reiterate, people, we don't need to hear your entire conversation. Please get you some earbuds or something to that effect. And we're going to take a quick break.
Still see the spray painted stop sign when I roll down 79. The drag marks behind that mini mart ain't faded after all this time. Every mad drive from Georgia to California's got a boy with a rebel heart. Stories in every small town scar that by a good old boy taking it way too far. Somebody had to drink too much and crank Hank way too loud. Somebody had to always stand up to the guy with a tendency to run his mouth. The straight pipe Chevy had to run these streets like Bo and Luke in the General Lee. Yeah, somebody had to, and that somebody was me. There's still ruts on Ridge Hill Road, and muddy cans we tossed out the window. String bikini on a limb by a swimming hole. That's a story that'll never be told. Cigarette butts and a busted bottle sitting by that old burn pile. This town was nothing without us, tearing it up every once in a while. Somebody had to drink too much and crank Hank way too loud. Somebody had to always stand up to the guy with a tendency to run his mouth. The straight pipe Chevy had to run these streets like Bo and Luke in the General Lee. Yeah, somebody had to, and that somebody was me. I guess somebody had to get a 4.0 full ride, whole life planned out on track. Somebody had to make a touchdown pass when state front page ain't written in black. But somebody had to drink too much and crank Hank way too loud. Somebody had to always stand up to the guy with a tendency to run his mouth. The straight pipe Chevy had to run these streets like Bo and Luke in the General Lee. Yeah, somebody had to, and that somebody was me. That somebody was
me. Military Broadcast Radio, the station that's giving veterans a voice.
Find us on the web at mbradio.net.
Welcome, Quack.
Opinions expressed in this program are those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of any entities they represent.
Nope, no audio in your end.
Uh-oh.
Oh, I don't.
Military Broadcast Radio, the station that's giving veterans a voice.
Find us on the web at mbradio.us.
Opinions expressed in this program are those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of any entities they represent.
World, you gotta, make it work and figure things out. I'm back. Lauren, can you hear me?
Yeah, you're good.
Good. Thank you, Jesus. So current topics. I know it's later, but the Eagles won the Super Bowl. Go Birds. Yay. I'm still riding high from that big win.
I don't even watch football. I mean, I knew we won, but like I'm very much a baseball person, so I need to clearly move to Clearwater so I can come to spring training.
Yes, and Phillies are in it.
I mean, they're up. They did really good against the Dodgers. I was so excited.
Yep, they swept the Dodgers. I was able to go to 2 spring training games last month. Watch the Phils, and they won. They won both times. Yeah, I got to say, I kind of really enjoy being 10 minutes from the spring training stadium and just kind of walking around. It's obviously not as big as it is as Bag Park, but right. I do enjoy spring training. And, if you're from the Philadelphia region, Clearwater just becomes like little Philly.
Oh, so I've never been to spring training. I've seen pictures of like all the people that have gone on social media, right? But it looks like it's knee deep in ghetto Philly people. Like not ghetto as in like ghetto, but like Delco ghetto, like F around and find out kind of fans.
Yeah, so there's definitely some Delco peeps for sure. Yeah, but if you want to feel at home and you're from the Philadelphia region, come down to Clearwater during spring training. It's awesome. And for me, so I was on a little diet at that time, but they do have Manco and Manco pizza at the spring training stadium. So that's really awesome too. So if you have been to the South Jersey Shore, and you've been to like, Notion City and you love Manco pizza, when you come down here to Clearwater, you can get your Manco and Manco pizza. So it's kind of awesome. Is there Chicky
and Pete's too?
I think there is a Chicky and Pete's in the stadium as well down here, I believe. Ooh. Yeah, I wasn't really paying attention to that kind of stuff, but yeah, I'm pretty sure that I think that there is.
Girl, I'm
But yeah.
600 pounds inside. Okay.
Yeah, I know. Like
what
when
it
I
is
go
today.
back up to New Jersey, all I do is carb load. I eat tomato pie and pretzels, and
Oh my God.
Florida
That brings
cannot
me up.
do soft pretzels to save their life.
This brings me up on a topic. I'm going to totally segue. I'm so sorry, but you know, like mom
Go for
brain
it.
is real. Okay. When I was deployed, 2013, I was like, I worked night shift in the camps, and we had a Pizza Hut on base that was open till like 11, but I was starving and I brought my food, but I didn't want what I had brought. Who does? And I didn't want any more dysentery from the freaking gallery. So I was like, I'm going to get a pizza. Well, I didn't say that though. I looked at my corpsmen and I looked at the guards that were on duty, and I was like, I'm going to order a pie. Y'all want one? Because I was like, I'm paying my treat because I need something in my soul that's not this bullshit anymore. And I don't even like pizza. Like I did when we had Book It, but anyway, so they were like, you're going to get a pie. Like, what kind of pie? I was like, I'm going to get tomato pie. But like, if you guys want like pepperoni or something, I'll get like whatever you want. When I tell you, no, I was speaking a foreign language. They were mostly all from California, and they thought I meant like an apple pie. And then I said something about a Wawa, and they were like, is that a bus stop? I gotta tell you guys, you don't even realize the different culture that is like up north between like Philly, South Jersey, Delco, a little tip of Delaware, like Claymont, and like that little niche. We don't speak normal. And you don't know it until you're not there. But the pie thing has stuck with me for what, 12 years now? Because my husband's from California, and it took me a while to be like, are you getting pizza? I had to like literally, I sounded like, bless my heart of how I sounded. But I was like, would you like a pizza? Like I sounded so stupid because I'm trying to correct myself from saying pie.
Well, yeah,
Girl.
the accent. People know I'm not from Florida because they're like, what's water? I'm like, it, clear, like you drink
You
it.
put it in
Like, oh, you mean water? I'm like, no, it's water.
I've stopped saying water for the most part, but yes. And they can't say skookle when they see it written. So on like a sign heading
Crayons,
down.
like crowns that you draw, like I'm like, no, crayon.
That girl. I got my daughter saying crowns. I'm like, you want your crown? And my husband's like, where does she have crowns? And I'm like, crowns. He's like, crayons? I'm like, what the fuck is a crayon? Crown. She needs to get her crowns for her coloring book. I'm not speaking a foreign language. They have to be because and coupons. He's like, what is a coupon? I'm like, coupon.
Look, this is our accent. This is who we are. Love us.
No.
This is how it is.
I give up. But yes. But next time you get a pie, think of me.
So what else is on your mind?
Girl, I have a 3-month-old that's stuck on my boob all the time. My brain is mush. You're muted.
It's the guts and it's the glory. 100 stripes, 100 stories. It's the Pledge of Allegiance on the 4th of July. It's them handwritten letters from home. It's them sleepless nights alone. It's his newborn baby he left with his wife. Mr. Red, White, and Blue, lay down, here's a line. Mr. Red, White, and Blue, for these stars and stripes, hey. From the fields of Indiana to the swamps of Louisiana, to the golden coast of California, Uncle Sam's the only family he's got. His purple heartbeat won't stop, and his 18th birthday was the day he was born. Mr. Red, White, and Blue, lay down his life. Mr. Red, White, and Blue, for these stars and stripes. Mr. Red, White, and Blue, stand on the front line. Mr. Red, White, and Blue, pay the ultimate price. Oh. He was the man of the house when he was born. His family is proud but torn. But if you knew him, you would understand. He was raised on how to be brave, just to see the flag still wave. And then he came home with only one hand. 'Cause Mr. Red, White, and Blue lay down his life. Mr. Red, White, and Blue, for these stars and stripes. Mr. Red, White, and Blue, stand on these front lines. Mr. Red, White, and Blue, he'll pay the ultimate price. Mr. Red, White, and Blue, lay down his life. Mr. Red, White, and Blue, for these stars and stripes. March in line, march in line. Hey. Hey.
Military Broadcast Radio, the station that's giving veterans a voice.
Find us on the web at mbradio.us.
Opinions expressed in this program are those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of any entities they represent.
And we're back now. God help me.
Jesus, take the wheel.
With this equipment tonight. But anyway, thanks for being patient, everyone, and hanging in there with me. Before the break, we were talking about current events. Now, I will say I don't follow basketball. I hate March Madness, but I will give props to the men's Florida Gators. Won basketball championship, and for the women, it was UConn. So go ladies and
nice.
Go Gators. Since I'm in Florida, I feel like I should be rooting for like the local teams, but not the Bucks. That's not happening. They're in my division. Not happening. Let's see what. So I do want to talk about the fencer who bowed out and refused to fight the transgender individual. And I do want to put a disclaimer out there that I have nothing against anyone who is transgender. That's your choice. And I have zero issue with that. But I am feeling some frustration with them in, women's sports are significantly being impacted. And I think we need to kind of figure out how to make this fair again, because that's kind of why we had Title IX and women's sports, because women couldn't compete in some of the men's sports. And there's a speaking of scientific biological difference between being born men and women. And we need to make women's sports fair again. So I need to give, hats off to Sophie Turner, I believe is her name, because she did not want to fence, a transgender individual. And, as parents, we spend a lot of we spend a lot of money on our kids to begin with. And some of these parents who invest significantly into their kids' competitive sports, and they're traveling all over the place. And fencing is not cheap. Just put it out there. It's not cheap in any way, shape, or form. And this particular woman trains at the Philadelphia Fencing Academy, if I am remembering reading the story correctly. And also another young lady in the discus competition, she did not want to compete against a transgender individual as well. So, that's a current event that's really impacting a lot of people. And I think, again, if you want to change your gender, that's entirely up to you. And I have zero issue with that. But we're impacting other people. And I think we really need to think about, maybe they need to have their own category. I think that might be the fairest thing, so that men and then women, and maybe have a transgender category. Like, I'm open to listening to what other people have to say. Just to me, it just seems a little
invasive,
unfair.
Yes, unfair works too.
Oh, I can't hear you, Lauren. Hold on.
Really?
Did you mute?
Can you hear me now?
Yourself?
No.
Yeah, now I can't hear you. Hold on. Yeah, I can't hear you.
What? My mute's not muted. I can hear you.
Yeah.
I'm
you
here.
can hear me. We just can't hear you. Great. Oh, bless the technology this evening. Just bless it.
Is that better?
Oh, Lauren, call the number. Hold on. Since I learned how to do this, you can call in.
Okay.
And we'll take a quick break.
Keeping us alive now. You forget about that one. And you keep them coming in. You're doing well, son.
Find us on the web at mbradio.us.
I want to make it clear that the views expressed.
Wonder what was going on inside the man in black's mind. Was he missing June? Was he thinking back when that picture was snapped? Was he wishing he could hold her? Did he know his life was over? The day that camera flashed the last picture of Johnny Cash. The lines of life there on his face show hard living and show grace. A story told in shades of black. Was he whispering a prayer through that cold and lonesome glare? The day the camera flashed the last picture of Johnny Cash. Johnny Cash. The lines of life there on his face show hard living and show grace. A story told in shades of black. Was he whispering a prayer through that cold and lonesome glare? The day the camera flashed the last picture of Johnny Cash. Wonder what was going on inside the man in black's mind. The day old Marty flashed the last picture of Johnny Cash.
Military Broadcast Radio, the station that's giving veterans a voice.
Find us on the web at mbradio.net.
Opinions expressed in this program are those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of any entities they represent.
And we are back. Can you hear me now?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Perfect.
All right. So before the break, we were talking about some of the current events that are going on. Thoughts?
You there?
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay. So I don't know what's going on my end this time. It's like, tag, you're it. Anyway, so go on.
So please. So I was just talking about some of the current events that are going on, and some of the controversy that's going on in the sports world, and some of the frustrations that women are experiencing with transgender. And again, I don't care if you want to be one or the other. I just think that maybe they need to make a different category to make it fair. That's all.
Well, I think I guess you all couldn't hear me when we were chatting earlier, but I was like, it feels intrusive. And I'm the same. I don't give a shit who you do, what you do, or where you do it, as long as you're not breaking the law and hurting somebody. I'm pretty neutral with that shit, but you're encroaching on something that it becomes a little unfair, and we're teeter-tottering here. This, like, it's not, we're at a huge disadvantage. Like we said earlier, the science is not sciencing sometimes.
Yeah, I was reading a story where some girls were talking about how they were, I think they were swimmers, and they had to change in the locker room with the transgender man. And, if that were my daughter, I don't think that that's okay. Like, we wouldn't just, we have men's and women's dressing rooms for a reason. And I get that you think you want to do something else, but to me, it almost speaks more to their state of mental health, right? Because a lot of these transgender athletes were competing in men's sports, and then they decided they are transgender and they want to be a woman and they want to compete in women's sports. Right. And it just, to me, like I said, it almost seems like there's something from a mental health perspective that we're missing, that we need to help them with, so that they're feeling supported, because most men wouldn't want to put themselves through changing and acting like and dressing like another gender for the sole purpose of competing,
to win an award,
and in a sport, and win an award. So honestly, as I'm trying to be objective and understand, I'm actually concerned, because I feel like there's something from a mental health perspective that we need to look at, and that maybe that we're missing, and that so that they're getting the help that they need. Hi, Travis.
Well, it gets tricky, right? Because it trickles into every aspect of everyone's life, and we all have to freaking get along to some degree, regardless of how you feel or don't feel, I guess. But I mean, I don't know. I'm again, my views are my views, but I'm with you. Like, I don't want my daughter in a dressing room or a bathroom with any man, regardless of what transition or not they might be in. Like, when I'm not with my kid, my husband looks for a family restroom that's just one stall, so they go in together, and it's sometimes that's not available. And there's been times where he's like, what do I do? And I'm like, well, take her into the men's room, unfortunately, because you've got to be with her present. And he's like, she says it smells. And I'm like, it probably does.
It does.
It's probably nasty.
Not wrong.
Right. But like, I remember I was in the car. I was like, I'll be right there. I got to grab some stuff. I'll meet you in there. As soon as they got in the building, I don't remember where they were now, somewhere at the mall. He's like, she has to go to the bathroom. And I'm like, okay, well, take her. So luckily it was like a Barnes and Noble store, and the girls' room, he was like, he opened the door. I like taught him how to do this because no one teaches dads, unfortunately. I was like, open the door, be like, is there anybody in here? I was like, and if they say yes, then maybe you just wait, because that you can't be in there either. But it's, oh my God, raising a child right now is bullshit.
It's hard. I agree with you. It's hard.
Meanwhile, my kid will pop a squat in the backyard in front of whoever's walking by because she doesn't want to wait to get in the house. It's great. Raising a kid's fun.
Have kids, they said. It'll be fun, they said.
Yeah. Teeter on your sanity. I did want to talk something real quick if we got like 2 seconds.
Go ahead.
So you hit like a trigger with me. You brought up the other day. You just randomly text me. You're like, hey, please be careful if you're with the kids alone because we have a Tesla. We also have a minivan because I got fucking like Family Matters up in this bitch sometimes. and what's the other show? Full House. But so I drive the Tesla whenever we're going anywhere far. My husband takes it every day to work though, if he's actually working, because he works an hour away in Philly. So you were the only one that's actually struck that actually has been like, you should be careful. Now, it pisses me off that people are, I don't care. Tesla is not the name of this man anyway. His name is Elon Musk. Let's not glorify a company because, you know what I mean? Let's not give all the credit to one person. There are people on the line making this car for him, but hardworking citizens are buying the car. My husband is a 100% disabled veteran who is now a cop and a federal agent. He works his ass off every day for us to pay that Tesla payment. I'm a nurse. I'm a first responder also. I work my ass off. Well, I work in GI, so I'm actually up in other people's asses right now, but that's beside the point.
Sorry.
Right? But like I work my butt off too to provide for my family. You going and destroying someone's hardworking paycheck so that they can get to places that you wanted us to actually use this vehicle to go to. And now there's kids in the car and women alone in the car and men that won't stop to ask for directions in the car. Like, it's just like, girl, it is pissing me the F off because I shouldn't have to live in fear because of my vehicle. It's bullshit. And people need to get a grip on fucking reality because they're going to go to the wrong Tesla person who happens to be carrying, and they gonna meet Jesus.
Well, there's cameras all over the cars. I don't even know why
there's like 7 cameras. Yeah, there's one right in the center of my car too. Like, well, it's my husband's car technically, but right in the center of the car. On top of the ones that are all around it. Fuck around and find out. Come on.
You're going to get caught and you're going to go to jail and it's going to be very unpleasant. And you're not doing anything because at the end of the day, the insurance is going to pay the money and they're going to go get another Tesla.
Yeah, yeah. Because I'm going to tell you, I don't miss getting gas. Whenever my van needs gas, I'm like, hey, hon, you want to go Wawa, grab me something? And while you're there, I need gas.
Take the minivan.
Thanks so much.
Now, you're in Delaware. Do you pump your own gas?
Yeah. I mean, I try not to, right? But yes.
Yeah, because I know once we moved out, I grew up in Jersey. We didn't pump our own gas. And now I'm in Florida. Right. I got to pump my own gas. But generally, I don't care anymore because I'm in Florida and it's warm 90% of the time. So I don't care that I got to car and pump my own gas.
Yeah. If it's nice out, I don't care. But in the winter, he's got to go for me because I'm a pretty little princess now and I'm spoiled at this point. So,
well, we're about to wrap things up for the evening. Lauren Dipietro will be my co-host, be joining me every other Tuesday night. So look forward for more things to come from my wonderful and beautiful and exciting co-host. And next week we will have on, I will have on Catherine Wilgus of Ashley's Cottage, a home that supports homeless female veterans. And for the Dog Tag Diva, I'm here to remind you to greet each day with purpose, passion, and tenacity, and be kind to each other.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in to Military Broadcast Radio. As we wrap up today's show, we want to remind you that the podcast of today's episode will be available right after we go off the air. So if you missed any part of the show or want to listen again, be sure to check it out. And remember, we're here to support and honor our veterans. Your stories and experiences matter, and we are committed to giving you a platform to share them. That's right. We're here to give our veterans a voice. So don't forget to catch the podcast and stay connected with us. Giving our veterans a voice. Ladies and gentlemen, thank